Hello everybody! Today is pretty in pink. Look at those colors. Totally outside the box for me. You know I'm not a pink person. But speaking of boxes, I got this cool box from Arteza and they sent me some more products. The individual color packs that you get from Arteza in the little pouches like this, I love the way that they come out. For the most part, I've been pretty happy with those colors, but their stretched canvases, especially the premium ones, are amazing. So if you're considering some canvases and you, like I normally buy mine at Michael's or whatever, but man, I love their stretched canvases. They're totally awesome, very sturdy. I haven't had any issues. I love the way they package them. I'll leave a link in my description box. To purchase anything from Arteza. I do get a small little kickback from that, but I am still just giving you my honest opinion. They gave me this 36 metallic color set, which I have used a few in a few paintings since I opened this box. And what I will say is they are very rich. There's a lot of beautiful colors to be had, and if you try to do a painting with just all of these, I found there was a muted sort of a tone. So what I decided to do when I wanted to use these on this painting was mix them with some regular colors. Now, this is not just Arteza. I tend to mix my metallics with regular colors anyway for that purpose. So here's the colors that I used: yourART, Festive Red, Berry, Art Minds, the Spiced Wine, and we got the Resin Art Luster pigments in there. I used some Martha Stewart Rose Gold. Then I used my Golden Flute acrylics, the Quinacridone Violet, Quinacridone Crimson, the Crimson Hue, and then there's the little Arteza Pearl Rose Quartz and the Pearl Magenta. So yeah, I used a lot of colors to make the colors that you see. That's a little wheat color that I used back there, that golden wheat. But look at the lusciousness of that. Oh my God, I love that. Look at that. So pretty and vibrant. That little watermelon color right there is scaring me, but I'm deciding to try it. And look at that lavender. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh. Very excited to use all of these colors. Oh, well, there was a small casualty. It's really the first time that I've ever totally doused my phone in paint like that, but you know, I'm sure you all can understand how that goes. Pretty much, my fiance says everything in the house slowly is getting assimilated into my paint studio. I'm not allowed to open up paints in other rooms, by the way. So, anyway, I wanted to say about this painting, I'm very nervous when I started about that watermelon color, the one that I just swooped through the center. It may not look like it on camera, but it's really, really, really bright, and its tone is different than the other tones. In this case, the tone of that watermelon color is extremely bright compared to the other tones, so I have to be careful the ways in which I use it. These high-toned colors can kind of make or break your painting sometimes, and it provides an interest that isn't there if you use all the same tones, but it can also wreak havoc on your painting. So I put that watermelon color in there, swooped, and then I got nervous and I scraped it off. And then the more I started thinking about it, I was like, oh man, that is really pretty. Like once I scraped it off and saw the blush color that it made on the canvas, then I was like, oh, why'd I scrape all that off? So then I went back and swooped it up off the board, and you can see I'm just finger painting now. This painting looks like a total disaster right now, I know. But it kind of just does this until it comes together. And this brings me to a point I wanted to make when someone commented, you know, I need exact recipes, you know, you don't give me exact recipes, and I need exact recipes for things, and I don't want to waste, you know, paint. I don't want to, you know, she was worried. She was very fearful of wasting paint and fearful of making mistakes. And people, this is what I'm going to tell you about this process. If you paint with fear, you will fear painting. And that's it. I mean, in a nutshell, if you paint with the fear of messing up, of wasting paint, of having to scrape something off, of making a wrong move, you are going to constantly feel limited by that feeling. And when you feel limited, you aren't going to take risks. You're not going to try new things. You're not going to be willing to scrape something off and try it again, or pour some more paint on there, or whatever. You just won't. And all I can say is, yes, there is a risk. You will mess something up. You will have to scrape something off. You take a chance and put an odd color in there, or you make a move that you wish you regretted, or you can't take back, or there's no way to fix it. But in the process of creation, when you paint without fear, let go of all the outcomes, hope for the best, you know, of course, hope for the best. Use your passion, use your intuition, use your creativity. Allow that to guide you in your painting. I promise you these happy, beautiful, amazing accidents will occur. And those are the things that make your paintings magical. But you have to let go. You have to let go of the fear. So that's my advice to you when you're painting this week, is to think about that. You know, am I painting with fear or fearlessness? And I definitely try to paint fearlessly. So you can see I'm developing, in this painting, I'm developing a composition. So it's just started out as blobs. But I did put the blobs, the puddle pour, I shouldn't call them a blob, but you know, I did put the puddle pours specifically with 3 dark areas, because our eyes love 3s, our eyes love odd numbers. So, and then I wanted to create the point of interest in the center using the white paint. This is actually milk paint, a milk paint formula that Elise Fournier shared with me, and she shared with all of you too in one of her videos. So I will try to link to her milk paint videos. So I just keep going with this. I don't want to make it too muddy. I definitely want to leave some pockets of solid colors. You want somewhere for your eye to rest when you look at the whole painting. And you know, that's one thing about these balloon swirls. They can get kind of busy would be the good word to use. They can get kind of busy. That's why you do want to leave some swooshes of solid pattern if you can. And so I'm just adding a little bit more color here because, you know, I want the white to be the focus in the center, which means I have to have that contrast surrounding it. So pretty. I also wanted to take a second and say thank you so much for watching, commenting, subscribing. Please feel free to contribute to my channel. I appreciate that so much. Every little bit helps me keep making these art videos for you. And if you see anything that you'd like to purchase, please let me know. So that's the finished piece, and I just felt like it was missing something still. Although look at, there's these beautiful, beautiful patterns. I just felt like there was something that was missing. But I went ahead and left it anyway. And then in the middle of the night, I woke up and I put 2 lines in there. See those 2 gold lines on the left? I put those 2 lines in there in the middle of the night. This is what I do in the middle of the night. I get up and look at my paintings. They're like my babies or something. So you can see the color is off because it's my flash in the middle of the night. Then I started thinking it needs another one, and so I used this little, editing tool just to see where I might put it on the painting to make it, I wanted my eye to just go in one specific focused place. So when I got up in the morning, and you can see, I added that gold line after the painting was partially dried. And I have to say that I love the way it turned out. This is the painting dried. First of all, look how pretty and shimmery that pale, gorgeous pink and lavender turn out. The gold looks fantastic, as if it was meant to be there. Now I'm sure you could hang this the other way. I did like it this way. You can hang it probably any way you want to. But see how the gold just draws your attention right to the right of the white space. So the white space and the connection where all 3 of the gold lines connect, it makes your eye look and focus there. And that, my friends, is called composition. The way that your eye moves around the canvas and you're drawing the viewer into a certain place. Thank you so much for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, and please hit the notification bell so you know. I want to let you guys know I have coming up another tutorial on avoiding muddy paint pours and a little bit more about color theory. So I'm pretty excited to share that with you in the next few upcoming videos, and also a collaboration that I am doing with Mr. Rad Acrylic. So stay tuned to heathermaderart, and I look forward to making more art videos just for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so I can make more art videos for you.